All right, Q. Do we got sound? Are we live on YouTube? Can they hear us right now?
They can't hear us right now.
All right, babe. Come on. Sorry, you're like in my ear. Dang.
See how much you don't like my voice?
I have no problem with your
As
voice.
many people like it about my voice, you don't like it.
Well, I mean,
Is it because?
let's see how
It
it works.
says 183, right?
183. Welcome, Black.
Welcome, Black.
Babe, you should put the chat on your thing again.
Hello, my name is Mrs. Melanin,
And I'm Belief No.
and we're here with episode 183 of
How Married Are You? Okay, my name Belief. This is Yvette, and we've been married 12
years.
Live in California, and we got
4 kids.
Relationship scary, it's very necessary. We share our love struggles. We ask
How married are you?
every Tuesday and Thursday, shawty. If you're listening, you're in the wedding party. It's okay if you want to put your hands up. You got the questions, we got the answers.
Chocolate baby story time.
Chocolate baby story time.
It's chocolate baby story time.
1, 2, 3, and
Jen, how do I pop the chat out?
Chocolate baby story time.
You just gotta make it big, babe.
But he made it separate from the video.
Okay. All right, babe. All right, I'll go first. Chocolate baby story time. This morning, where am I at? I'm in the shower. No, I'm doing my workout. Oh my gosh. And I'm doing this little, I fell in love with I'm sorry, not Oculus, VR workouts. And I've been doing this thing and it's been great. And I'm working out and I'm killing it. I'm in the zone and I'm hearing this like the entire time working out. And I'm like, what is that? So then I'm like, I finished the workout and what is it, like 2/3 of the way in, it's still going. So I'm like, okay, let me finish it. So I finish it. I walk upstairs and Anaya is just sitting there whining. And it's a relentless whine. And I'm irritated. I'm like, what is happening? And everyone's just sitting there watching her cry. But apparently Anaya lost one of her 2 front teeth this morning and blood was appearing and it was very dramatic. And I came in and I shut everything down. I said, all right, cool. You're bleeding. Get out. You are on my pillow. Get out. Okay. What are you in here to do? Did you clean your room? Get out of here. And you stink. Get out. And I just was like, I cleared the whole room out so I could finish my workout.
Go check out my stories from today. I'm going to piggyback on that because Anaya kept like having a really hard time with her 2 front teeth. She went as far as she was like looking at Theo's teeth and she was like, why are your 2 front teeth so big? He was like, they're my adult teeth. You're going to have the same thing. And then she goes on to say, well, I don't want to look like a beaver.
Ooh. It's a cold world, ladies and gentlemen.
And then Theo is trying to like help her feel better about the situation because she's really feeling self-conscious about how she looks or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, Dad's 2 front teeth are fake.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to tell the people what happened because Theo was trying to tell a story, but the video cut him off and I didn't let it continue. And so people were like, what? We need to hear this story.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
this is no longer chocolate.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we were gonna get married, Yvette and I, we were gonna get married like in 2 months. And I'm a humanitarian. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to turn down my headphones. Your voice is really loud in my head.
That better?
Dang. Just
All
turn
right. Oh, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I'm a humanitarian, man. I'm trying to like do good for the earth. And so as I'm working, okay, so hold on real quick. Jordan, can you do me a favor? Can you open the door and just let me have the children? Because I hear them and I should not. Oh,
Uzi's trying to get.
Uzi's trying to get through. Can you help him? Thank you. So I'm a humanitarian. I'm donating blood to the Red Cross during this time. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, my blood type is in need. People need my blood type. You know what I mean? I found out my blood type. I was like, yeah, go ahead and take me, boss. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing wrong with me. So I'm like trying to do all this stuff. And I went to go like get fitted for my suit. And then I went home and I did like this little dance in the mirror because I was like, I had my suit on and I was like, dang man, this is dope. And I went to go give blood and I never ate. The next morning I went to work, and while I was at work, I was like, "Dang, I'm hungry." So I was like, "Hey," real quick before, the next client gets here, 'cause I was a rehab assistant at the time, and I was like, "Can I go grab a bite?" And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, go ahead." And ran over to Starbucks. This is in
La Jolla.
yeah, I ran over to Subway in La Jolla, and they had them little breakfast flatbed bread sandwiches,
They probably still have them.
and I just jogged lightly over there, and, like, I stopped. And the next thing I know, I was face down trying to wake up. I fell on my 2 front teeth and broke my 2 front teeth, and the sound I was hearing sounded like a jackhammer. It was my teeth scraping up against the concrete. And they had to send me to the hospital because I walked back to work and I didn't eat. I walked back to work and, no one helped me. I walked back to work and they called an ambulance and they were like, "No, you gotta go to the hospital." So I went to the hospital 2 months before our wedding. I had no teeth. Them joints was all jagged. It's crazy. And so I have veneers. I used to have veneers. But I had a gap.
Yeah.
I had a gap in my teeth, and the gap got fixed. So,
Yeah, we were having that conversation too because we were like, who has like, because Naya, I'm thinking that when her 2 front teeth come in, she's probably gonna have a little bit of a gap.
she gonna have something.
She's gonna and so I was like, "Oh, let me look." And so we started looking at everybody, and so Uriah and Uzi also have a gap
Oh,
as well. So it's not as like big, but it's a gap.
oh, okay.
So interesting. I was like, you guys get that from your papa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, which you should know, next week we are having our first ever How Married Are You live event here in San Diego County, and we want you there.
Yeah,
We
get your
want you there.
tickets.
The tickets are on sale. They are on sale right now. One thing you may or may not know is we do have a virtual ticket option available to you. However, your first choice should be in person because we want to partake
Yeah.
with the wedding party.
Yes.
So please, we have VIP tickets. I will get you Friday night, which is our VIP exclusive event from 4 to 8 p.m. We're going to have the past tray fancy shindig, think wedding reception.
Yeah.
It's going to be cocktail attire. It is going to be lit. We have a DJ dancing. Glenn and I will be having a special conversation that evening. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah. And hold on real quick. I know you're about to go in, but we actually have a commercial.
Oh, we do have the commercial.
Yeah, let's run the commercial.
Well, quiet us so we can talk to them because they can't see the commercial.
Okay, go ahead.
You go ahead. Y'all, do you want to hang out with us party in person? Let me tell you something. Now is your chance. On July 28th through the 29th, we are throwing a party. We're calling it How Married Are You Live.
This is our introduction to retreats. We are super excited to add so much value. We've been giving free value for a long time and sharing the ups and downs and the hard parts and the best parts of marriage. This upcoming July 28th and 29th is your opportunity to get the nitty gritty on how we really got through a lot of that stuff. And so we want to invite you guys. It's going to be super fun. We're back. We are back. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into this. Make sure you buy tickets. Let's go ahead and hop into this this concept or this thing we gotta talk about.
Okay, so we have, like, a couple of people who have followed up with us on some things that they wrote in about and we've responded about. So
Mhm.
we're gonna start from the most present to past. And so we on
Tuesday.
Tuesday, we went live and we chatted about a situation, where a friend of the opposite sex asked.
Married.
You recap the episode while I pull up the email.
Okay, so there was a married woman whose best friend's grandparent passed away, and he was asking for his best friend, the woman, to come and support him during the time of need.
Mhm.
Her husband was like, "Nope," and we left it off as there, and we talked about all this, but I think since there's follow-up and a little bit more information, some you guys will be privy to, some you won't be privy to, we're gonna kinda explain a little bit more and see if we still feel the same way.
Yes.
Okay.
So, this is her email back to us, and I'm gonna read it in its full form because she's so funny. She goes, "LOL, so holy sugar honey iced tea." I forget where she's from. Never expected to hear you guys read my email on this beautiful new set. So I definitely wanted to clarify things because I see how it can be very vague. So my best friend's grandmother, unfortunately, was slowly deteriorating for some time to the point he renovated their house to move her in. In April, things took a turn for the worse when she was diagnosed with stomach cancer. He really took things hard, and his fiance stepped up big time to help with her while tending to their two kids. For the last few weeks of her life, I supported him via phone and FaceTime and offered to buy dinner and help any other way from such a long distance. When reaching out, he did say he needed emotional support and assistance with his daughters and really wanted his fiancée to tend to her prior engagement she planned the year before. Granted, I don't know, I personally wouldn't go if I were in her place at that time. It's not really my place to judge. I also completely understand him wanting her to go as a relief before the funeral and moving her stuff out. To be clear, there's never been anything outside of a genuine platonic relationship, friendship between us, and he's my brother from another. So on the flip side, yes, I choose my husband and love him despite the difficult times. This flustered me because I watched and supported him when he was consistently helping his female best friend in her time of need. Even had his best friend and her daughter move in with us to help them for a few months. Hearing talk feedback Hearing your talk feedback makes me wonder, would it feel so uneasy about it? I think there's a couple typos here, but I think we got it. If I was going to help a female friend, because I saw how Glenn immediately got squirmy while he read the email. LOL, LOL. I don't know that I'm naive, although a person panhandling does always pull my heartstrings. LOL. I was raised in a military I was raised in the military, so family is important to me, and with us both having best friends of the opposite sex, I wish the demeanor would have been reciprocated, especially because I've lost such great friendships and feel terrible for not being there when asked. I guess there is a discussion that needs to be in regards to boundaries, expectations, and rules again, because it seems to have changed since dating. Hopefully that clears up some things. Thanks so much, Glenn and Yvette, for your feedback. Um
Yeah.
I totally related to her when she was talking about the whole, like, being in a military family and growing up and how family, for those of you who don't know, is like friends who are family, um, which I think everybody should know. But anywho, like, I understand that because I feel like that was the foundation of a lot of our issues when it came to that, where I held the reverence I held for my family and the family that we've created as Glenn and Yvette Henry.
Is that a question?
No, well, yeah. Well, no, it's a statement,
Okay.
but you should co-sign it or not.
Uh,
You
I
don't co-sign it?
you have reverence for them? No, like, I get it, like, yeah, like,
Mm,
it's important, family is important. That's a tribe, that's a village,
mhm,
that's really important. We
mhm.
were talking about that today on the live, this, like, expert nanny hopped onto our live, and she was born in the '50s, and she was, like, I guess, the nanny to, like, movie stars and stuff.
Mm.
And she kind of tapped in and was like how important it is to talk about Village and how well we're doing Village. I agree that it's important. I still think that, you know, some things are not my fault, but they're still my responsibility and my problem, you know? And I don't think that what is happening is her fault, you know? Like, it's like she wants to be there for a friend. I think that's great,
Mhm.
but she can't
Mhm.
because of who she's married to.
Mm.
And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and you were like, "What?" Because I was like, "Right?"
What do you mean what?
Because you were like, "Really?" Because when I said, "No, she can't go. She can't go," you know?
Mhm.
Not because of she needs to be obedient to her husband or whatever. It's just that that's who she married,
Yeah.
and he doesn't get it, and that's now something that she has to deal with because she's married to him,
Yeah.
and that sucks.
Yeah.
But that is what it is.
Mhm.
So it's like, because they're in both of our situations, because you weren't ready to deal with something, that's just what I had to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like, something could be right, but because you're not ready to receive it as right, that doesn't mean like, I can't do it until you're on board.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You feel me on that? Or, like, am I tripping? Because you squint your eyes and you're nodding, but I'm reading you, and I feel like you're like, "There's some BS."
No, I'm just trying to follow you,
Okay.
is
Okay,
what you're saying.
alright, so, there's certain things that oh, this is a great example. It's probably one of the only examples I have, but, as we're talking about, like, you going to therapy or, okay, like nannies. I was anti-nanny. What do we need a
Mhm.
nanny for? We here, you here. What you need a nanny for?
Mhm.
No, I need help around the house. You know what I'm saying? And because I didn't understand that, you could not have a nanny,
Mhm.
right? But then I talked to some people and they're like, "Bro, get her a freaking nanny. Your problems change. It's different." And
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, that's normal? I didn't know it was normal." Now
Mhm.
you talking about someone who didn't grow up in like my everyday was not being in a nuclear family, and then to think someone else would come in and be a part of that community, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother lived 200 feet away from me
Yeah.
in an apartment. She could have lived we could all live together. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, but that's not what I grew up seeing. So it
Mhm.
wasn't something I had access to, and you paid the price for that until I understood, and then you were able to have it because we were
Mhm.
in agreement or we were in alignment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, unfortunately, that is the cross that she has to bear because of who she's chosen to marry. Now, she could not deal with that no more. You know what I'm saying? That would be her prerogative. You know what I mean? And something that but I think that his lack of understanding is what she has to, like, pray for and, like, grow through, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. I love the context that we were able to get from the fact that, like, he had his best friend, who is also a female, and her children move in with them for, like, a couple of months. That's a big deal. Like, that's a lot, and she can't just travel across
And
the
it's a female.
and
Right.
it's a female in the house, mind you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. He wildin', I think he tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, though.
okay, so with that context, you would let her go? Because at first, I think you were kinda like, "Nah, sis, you need to stay home." But now with this information, you would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, yeah, girl, go."
Well, I mean, the context helps, right?
Yes.
Like, he wants her help specifically with his daughters.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that changes things, right?
Mhm.
Because if he says, "Hey, I need emotional support for my daughters during this time while I'm organizing this," oh, I get it. But if
Mhm.
you're just saying, "I need emotional support,"
Mhm.
no, you don't.
Yeah.
Jesus, therapy, somebody else. Like,
Exercise.
you know what I'm saying? Like, something
Yeah.
else can provide you what you need.
Yeah.
So, um, I I do believe that he's out of pocket. It does change things, but it's not like like I didn't marry him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you have had to, like, because of my immaturity, it has cost you.
Because of whose immaturity?
Mine.
Oh, yours.
You know what I'm saying? And because of your immaturity, it has cost me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I can't really move forward without Yvette understanding where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that costs something. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
does that make sense, y'all? Y'all mad at me?
Okay, so Tamika asks, did I miss the part why her family don't like him?
Well, first of all, Tamika should be on vacation.
I don't think, is that our Tamika?
I think that's our Tamika.
Oh.
Maybe not.
I don't know if that's our Tamika.
Okay, cool.
But we are not going to share that. She did disclose that information, which was very helpful context, but we're not going to, she doesn't want that shared. So we're not going to share that. But yes, you did miss that because we didn't share it. So we like to honor y'all so that y'all keep writing us and letting us chime in on things.
Yeah.
So we are not going to say anything more on that. I can't. What's happening? You did
can't
something.
Go down. Yeah, I'm sorry. I made it bigger so I can read.
Okay. I think that's it. Okay, so we got another follow-up email.
I don't know about this one.
We don't know about this one. This one is, I love the way she titled it. Hold on, pull it up. She titled it My Jambalaya. A dilemma following episode 181.
Okay.
Okay, so following on from the My Family Doesn't Approve of Him episode number 181, I have a dilemma. I'm also 26 and have been journeying with a guy for 2 years. The first day he met me, he told me he thought I was beautiful, and over time invited me in to have his friends as my friends and his community as my community. That sounds like us. No?
I'm confused. Is this a follow-up from the person who wrote in? Or is this someone saying, hey, I got a similar situation from this episode?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, where did it go? Okay. What I didn't know at the time is these friends were to him equivalent to family because his family of origin story is similar to Glenn. Parents divorced young, very minimal attachment to family members. People be knowing you. Y'all know so much about us.
My parents wasn't even married. So.
Yeah. Things got
you can open it.
Things got to a point where a pattern arose as we were journeying together, where new friends kept being made for various needs, and it was affecting my ability to relate with him or honestly communicate my needs in relating. Oh, I'm like, are you trying to tell me something subtly?
No,
Can we get this? Dang it, you keep making me lose. Like I said, y'all, paragraphs. Press enter. I don't know where I'm at. Are the children okay? Oh yeah, she wants to roll her chair. Oh my gosh.
Ugh. Tell her no. No. Sorry, baby. I love you. You'll get one later.
You don't do that when you don't do that when you tell me no.
What?
You just told her no. Sorry, baby. I love you. You just say no.
I don't even tell you no.
You do.
I do not tell you no.
You tell me
I say
no.
I don't think that's a good idea, or maybe we should think about this. I don't even say no to you.
Yes, you do. I hear no.
I say no to other people through you.
What?
I'll tell you no for someone else. You'll be like, hey, such and such wants you to do this. Absolutely not. I don't even say no to you. I say absolutely not. I say, have you lost your mind? I say,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't say no to you like that. I don't say no.
You do say no.
No, I say absolutely not.
You just said no to me.
Okay, I'm sorry. I love you so much. Finish the email.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. What happened? So things got to a point where a pattern arose as we were journeying together where new friends kept being made for various needs, and it was affecting my ability to relate with him or honestly communicate my needs in relating. I started to realize he curates the coming in and going out of people in his life based on what he wants for that period in time. I also noticed he would communicate danger with some of the friends he's had for 7+ years when they would approach me for conversation or try to form a bond with me, similar to how Glenn would communicate to Yvette the dangers from his life's experiencing with family. Are we following so far?
This email is cryptic. But keep going.
Okay. So all the indirect communications was getting overwhelming. So I reached out to him saying, I noticed we relate with each other as people that like each other, and that if that's the case, we should start planning together. Get rid of all the loop. He told me he has a lot of friends and I don't have to worry about him, and if I'm not feeling fulfilled with him, I should find people that will invest in me. I was confused. He then went on to friend zone me. We've had similar cycle of conversation before when I expressed appreciation for him in a way that didn't involve his approval committee of friends. I didn't intend for my communication to communicate a lack of satisfaction, but a desire for clear and honest dialogue between us that has often been indirect and eggshelly. Other than that, I don't think he realized the way he relates with his friends and views them is how you would relate with and view family, and that because there are so many, his friends seem to use that to keep him at his beck and call, i.e., if we don't approve of it, this isn't something you should be wanting, or it needs to be make sense to us to make sense in your life because we've been in your life so long. I don't know how to approach this, and it feels very sticky, especially because aside from this issue, I think everything about him is amazing, and I don't know of any other man who is amazing to relate with as him. Looking forward to hearing back. That was kind of a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
The sentences.
Yeah, so sometimes and this is no offense. That's fine. You're gonna be offended.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm already offended, so go ahead.
So sometimes when you're telling me a story, it seems like this email, and I'm just kind of like, where are we going, friend?
Because you have to have all of the
yes,
background
it's so many
knowledge.
different pieces, and I'm just trying to stay up to it.
Yeah.
So what can I just try to sum
Which
it up?
is why I wish that this was like in paragraphs.
Yeah.
Like this is
Point
the
one,
first part.
point two. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So from what I understand, this guy's very friendly. He's got a lot of friends. He treats his friends like family.
Mhm.
They're really invested into him. He's invested into them.
Mhm.
She is a part of that, and she can come along and ride. But if she ain't down with the squad, she got to get up out of here.
Mhm.
Is that what I'm getting?
So I'm gathering that too, but I feel like there's a little bit more of a nuance. Did you guys hear anything else?
They weren't listening. Look at them. Look at those guys. They got marriage training wheels on.
Okay, let's see. Context.
Yeah, you gonna have to chat GPT to that email and say,
can you explain this? Oh, let me just try it really quick.
Do it.
Let's just try it.
Send it to Jen. Have him put it in Jen.
No, I can do it all by myself.
Okay. Yikes.
Mhm.
Chat GPT gonna be like, absolutely not.
Can you?
What are you talking about?
Or
Get out
should
of
I
here.
say, can you summarize this?
Into 2 sentences. Like, can you summarize this story
It just
into?
goes back to Glenn's confused face.
Yeah.
Or summarize it to 5 bullet points.
Two bullet points. We only need to know what we have to respond to.
I'm saying 5 sentences, y'all. Okay. As a 26-year-old person has been in a relationship with a guy for 2 years. Initially, he welcomed them into his circle of friends, which he considers as his family due to his own family background. However, over time, the person noticed a pattern where the guy continuously makes new friends for specific needs,
Got it.
making it difficult for them to connect and communicate openly. The guy seems to curate his friendships based on his current desires. When the person confronted him about this and expressed the need for more transparent communication, he responded by suggesting they find fulfillment elsewhere and friend zoned them. The person is confused and feels stuck as they appreciate everything else about him but are uncertain how to handle this issue. Man, ChatGPT
Hey,
is.
let me one time for ChatGPT. Round of applause. Let me explain something to you. ChatGPT for marriage. I need it like on my ring.
So you can.
She just said this and this. Am I supposed to clean the chicken or am I supposed to just take it out?
Yeah,
Clean
where
the chicken.
you press the button and be like, listen to this real quick.
Exactly.
That was amazing. I'm impressed, ChatGPT.
Okay, yeah. So I think she just gotta take the L. What you think?
What do you mean, take the L?
She got friend zoned.
And just leave it at that.
Can you go back to the chat?
It's hard because to ChatGPT.
No,
to
the
the
chat.
chat.
Sorry.
I'm so confused. The concept of not being able to move forward until your spouse understands, or they're behind. Some of the chat people are behind.
Okay.
However, yeah, I don't know, because what I think is happening, I don't really understand the part where she's talking about the friendship, because it seems like he has friends that are long-term friends. Did you receive that?
She has friends at all?
He does.
Yeah.
And that he's been helping her to be a part of the community. But then
he makes new friends.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. She tried to relate him to me, and that's not who I am.
No. She was saying, because I think I don't remember which episode, but recently you were sharing on the podcast about how you tried to give me a heads up, like this is what you can expect from this friend.
Yeah.
Or this family member.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't put your expectations any higher than that, because this is where you need to have the bar. I've been doing this for a long time, so just keep the bar right here.
Right.
And then I had to experience that for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's saying all the indirect conversation. So I'm thinking she's like, well, I don't really like him telling me all this. It's like, if you have to tell me this about your friends, then why are you even friends with them? That's what I'm gathering. But I could be wrong in my gathering.
Yeah. That's that math of like, like y'all, that was like very loving for you to do for her to make that up, because I didn't get that at all from her. You know what I'm saying? That's how women be protecting each other. I just be like, I think this is what she means. But I don't think so. I don't think that's it, babe.
She said, I reached out to him saying, I noticed we relate with each other as people that like each other, and that if that's the case, we should start planning together. Get rid of all the loop-de-loop. He told me that he has a lot of friends and I don't have to worry about him. And if I'm not feeling fulfilled with him, I should find people that will invest in me.
So what I gathered from what he said was that was very clear communication. Hey, I got a lot of friends. It is what it is. If you don't feel invested or fulfilled, you need to go find people that invest in you. But this right here is my support system. When she says loop-de-loop, that was not enough information. I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gathering from what you just said that maybe she's feeling like he's invested more in his friendships than he is invested into this relationship that they have both shared, obviously, that they like each other. Are you listening for? Oh, that's Uzi. Here he comes.
Can you open that for me, Jordan? Sorry. Sorry, Uzi. Sorry,
Raya said Uzi.
Come here, Raya. Come here, Raya.
Oh, mute the mic.
Yeah, all right. Come here.
What happened, Uz?
Don't take off your shoe. Come here, Raya. Oh, it's right. It's Theo did it. Come here, Theo. Sorry, you get out of here.
You thought me did it?
You thought me did it?
How did you push him?
Well, so we were playing, but then I was on my rolling chair, but then I was holding on to him. He was pulling, but then there was the corner of the chair and scratched him on the back.
Okay, and there was a mistake.
Yeah.
And you said sorry?
Yeah.
And did you say I accept your apology? No, because you don't do that yet. Okay, that's fine. Do me a favor. Stop rolling in the chairs. Sit on a stable chair or sit on the floor. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Are we still dealing with this or are we moving on? Is that another child?
No.
Okay. Someone in the chat said, Can we have some of these people call in to explain what they mean? I really wish that I would love for someone to be willing to do like a live conversation, but I feel like they'd want their voice disguised.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that would be the only thing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would help because we could ask like follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for them to respond to the episode. But yeah, a lot of people are like, run.
Yeah. So run from the guy.
Yeah.
I think he's giving you an out.
Mm-hmm.
I think he doesn't want to be with you, and I think that it's obvious, and I think you should let him go. Obviously
Let him go.
Let him go. Obviously he manages, he sees his friends as valuable as the relationship, and he needs someone who can exist in his ecosystem, and I don't think you want that. I think you're trying to develop a relationship with him, and he wants you to exist in his world. And I don't think he wants to choose. And I think this is a really good sign because I feel like in this moment of time, you're going to be able to recognize that he will have a hard time choosing you when it really counts. So if it's a situation where one of his friends needs something, he might be dipping into the bank account to do it. You know what I'm saying? Or being there for that person because he values them that much. So I just think it's really awesome, and I'm sorry that you found someone who you really love or who you think you like a lot and you want to be with, and he's amazing and awesome and all that stuff, but he ain't the one. And if you do end up with him, I'm not gonna say you deserve whatever you get, but you deserve exactly what it is because he's showing you all the signs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that could possibly be grown out of, but he is letting you know up front, this is where his priority is. And he would rather you adapt to his world than you, and then to create a new world with you.
Yeah.
And that is kind of unfortunate, which is like the opposite of what you did.
Opposite of what I did?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do?
I feel like you were kind of breaking up with your friends.
No, it was only like one girl.
Yeah.
It was like one girl who I was like in like a very deep friendship with. And but it wasn't like she was definitely my friend, but she wasn't like super committed to me. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime she get a boyfriend, like I wouldn't talk to her for months sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so I recognized her pattern and I was like, well, I'm serious about this girl. And I don't think it's ever gonna be like a breakup thing. So you know what I mean? And it wasn't like, but it just was like, man, I'm telling this girl I love her. And just for me to get off the phone with her and I say, hey, I love you, and you not to have any attachment to her, that could have been very confusing. Are you done getting love? Are you done? You don't have to be done. I'm just asking. Are you done? Passive aggressiveness.
His love expired.
Yeah.
He's not that into you.
Yeah, he's just not that into you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just accept your placement in the friend zone and move on.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, if you got all them daggone friends, one of them dudes might be you might be ready to leave the whole squad for you. You better go shopping.
What?
You're already there. You might as well be like, yeah, I am a friend. Yeah, this is nice. I like this group. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just find your man, girl. Come on now. All right. How
do you filter your family?
How do you filter your family?
Yeah, how do you choose the people that you want to stay around? Because it sounds like he doesn't have any filter, or it's just his filter is like who I need instead of like who I need, like a Jimmy or these people you know you're staying around. How do you what's your identifier?
How do you filter out? Be careful.
I know. I feel like for me, and I don't know if the audience could hear what his question is. Do you want to repeat his question?
The question is, how do you filter out your family? How do you filter out your family? How do you figure out, okay, I want to be around these people, not these people? And how do you make the difference between those people?
Yeah. So for me, I feel like ooh, that's a really good question, Jed. I feel like I need to sit with it a little bit longer because I'm realizing where I've come to a spot in my life where I'm realizing that even the people that I want to be around forever may not be around forever, and that the people who I thought were gonna be around forever are gone, but there's a chance that they could come back at some point, you know what I mean? And we can pick up where we left off possibly with a different, more mature, healed version, healthier version of each other. Um, so yeah, but let me think. Am I intentional with that? I definitely have become more intentional about who I'm spending my time with. I can see that being the case. Go ahead, babe. You respond.
So I would say that, it's really important to invest in the now, right? Um, I don't think that I don't like these like terms to where it's like this is my nucleus and this is my outer circle and my outer shell and this is you know what I'm saying? Like I have people, these are my people, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Some people ain't my people, but I'm their people, right? So
Mhm.
that doesn't mean I push them away because they're not my people. I just don't tell them my stuff. I let them tell me their stuff because they need me. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So there's no telling what a person will become or how long a person's gonna live. You know what I'm saying? And be a part because we have people who like forever people who they're not around no more. You know what I mean? Um, and they're never coming back. And that is something that it's hard to grasp when you've chosen these people to be a part of your family. You held them up with such value and they fail you or they uh you
Grow
know
distant.
grow distant or pass away or expose themselves to be snake like so like all these things happen and people change and so I think you should not so much think about as much as I have a problem with this because I'm always thinking about the future. I think you should just focus on like who's here now and then stewarding that relationship for the season, right? And some people I could be like, yo, right now there's no value in this relationship. And even if there's value in the future, what it's gonna cost me to continue this relationship, I'm not gonna be able to fulfill, right? I'm not gonna be able to sustain it because it's gonna cost me my livelihood or my peace or whatever, and that's something I don't exchange, right?
Mhm.
So it's very simple if you think about it, like, okay, this person is in my life for what reason,
Mhm.
And I could tell you, like, these guys know, and my wife knows. I have friends since like elementary school, still hop on the phone with, you know what I'm saying? And we talk each other's ear off sometimes. Um, one of my closest friends, Garrett, prayed for me all through my entire life and lives 5 minutes away from us. And our kids playing, it's like it's really special. Now there's certain times we weren't in each other's nuclear,
Mhm.
and I don't know if we're still like that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like our families aren't like attached to the hip. But I tend to make my decision based on the cost of the relationship. And sometimes the relationships are too expensive and I have to say, I cannot
Mm.
sustain this.
Mhm.
This is gonna cost me too much.
Mhm.
And so that way I don't ever have to base it on a person. I base it on the cost. This costs this. I don't have that. I can't afford it. So I can't invest in this. Or I have to put up a wall and say, hey, this is my boundary. I can't have you cross here anymore. I'm so sorry. You know.
Yeah.
How married are you?
I'm so married that on I don't know what day that was. I came home from my workout and you were like, "Did you get me a 5-hour energy drink?" And I was like, "Huh?" I was caught off guard. But then the next day when I came home from my workout, I had brought you a 5-hour energy drink. I was
That
like,
was
"You
very
ain't gonna
special.
catch me slipping." And I
Yeah.
heard you gulp it down this morning.
Yes.
Awesome. While I laid in bed, I did not wake up early this morning or
Yeah.
because we had a rough night.
It was a rough night.
Children.
A rough night.
How married are you, my love?
Last night when I came home, it was hot in our house. It was super hot. And Oh no, there's a better one. Because all I did was turn on a fan.
For real, what the heck?
The house fan, which means you gotta open windows at the same time.
Okay.
But the other day, you sent me on a Mission Impossible.
What did I do?
You were like, because I don't know why, for some reason, at this age of yours now, you can't sleep without an eye mask. All of a sudden, it's eye mask time. Eye mask season. She can't sleep without it. So she's like, "Can you go get my eye mask downstairs?" And I went to go look for it, and it wasn't there. And I was like, "I don't know where it is." You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, I came back upstairs, and you were like, "Ugh." So I ended up like turning the lights off so that you could sleep in the darkness instead of keeping the lights on.
And that sleep that night was not good.
I know.
It was bad sleep.
Did you where was your eye mask? No, expose yourself because this is disrespectful.
I was really hoping you wouldn't ask that question.
Was it under your pillow?
It was in the bed for sure.
It was in the bed.
It was in the bed
among the popcorn kernels, the chip crumbs.
Oh
but
my
did you know you
God.
kind of sleep with your eyes open a little bit?
No, I didn't know that. Maybe that's why my sleep is so bad and I need the extra darkness.
Yeah, I'll be looking at her like, and this is like little eyes just be sitting there.
Anaya does that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I can't sleep without it. But I have a question because you keep like putting me out there on the streets and I just want to know because I just want to know, do y'all be eating in bed? Like, is that a thing? Like, I know I can understand certain things. I try to avoid eating in bed, but sometimes I just be controlling.
What's off limits in bed
I
for
knew
you?
you were gonna say that.
What's off limits?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I would say I don't know what's off limits.
Yeah.
Like ramen.
Okay.
I
Ramen.
want to think of something. things that are
Ramen is off limits in bed, ladies
Do
and
y'all
gentlemen.
be eating? Nope, never eating in bed. No, I do not eat in bed. Come on now, y'all be eating in bed.
Eating in bed to me is complete lawlessness. Like it's like, you know, like breakfast in bed is supposed to be a special thing that happens once, you know, every blue moon. You know what I'm saying? You just cozy up and so many things are being displaced. Like I could like hear a crumb drop. I'm like, dang, man. Like I know, like I just be daydreaming, like, oh man, like if I ever shrunk down to like, remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? And I like peruse through here, like I would eat for days because like chips.
That's not true.
Man.
Babe, I'm not a messy eater. But that is so funny because I used to be that person. I used to be the one that was like, no, I'm not eating in bed. Like that's just a rule, right?
Mhm.
And then something happened. And I think what happened, do you want to know what happened?
Being a mother.
We got a TV in our room.
Oh.
We got a TV in our room. And at the end of the night, I'm just like, I want to like snack and watch. But I don't want to do it downstairs because I don't want to fall asleep downstairs. I'd rather fall asleep upstairs.
I think eating in bed is like the first step to becoming homeless. Now hear me out.
What?
Because look, you have a bedroom for sleeping, you have a bathroom for peeing, right? You have a kitchen for eating and a dining room for cooking. Once you start to merge those rooms, you come into like an apartment or a studio and it just gets smaller and smaller, and then you might as well just go camping. You know what I'm saying? It's all one place.
And that's just how married we are.
All right, let's stay on for a couple minutes. Still around. Y'all still on? We gonna do a little Q&A. If y'all still here, um, we need to figure out. You know what I'm saying? The snackable things that you know what I'm saying you can have in
I
bed.
feel like popcorn is fine. As long as
popcorn is the worst.
you know what I should do is I should create a video about how to snack in bed.
You wouldn't fail. You need to say how not to snack in bed. That should be the title of the video.
My hubby sees
the categories.
Like it just be like an anger face. So my thing is this. I think licorice is a good one.
Ugh.
You want like red vines or
Okay,
twisters?
I can do some red vines.
So red vines, if you want to do something like that, like licorice, all good. It's a gummy substance. Sour Patch Kids with the sprinkly sugar on top, absolutely not.
Yeah, I love me some watermelon Sour Patch Kids, and I will admit that those ones are a little suspect if I don't do it right. So what happens is, if this is the bed, right, and I got the Sour Patch Kid, you kind of have to grab it off the bed, and then you kind of got to go like.
But you see the pullback? You got to stay out. Just stay out and then spring it off and chew backwards. You see that?
So when you step into bed, you step on them and then they go on your feet.
Yeah, like you.
And then they get into the bed anyway.
But I'm just saying, like, don't bring it in the bed. That's all I'm saying. Popcorn's the worst. Sour Patch Kids are the worst.
You must admit, though, that I have started sitting in the chair next to my bed sometimes.
Only when I say something.
No.
But by the time I get home, it's already done.
What's the most egregious?
Popcorn.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Popcorn or chips?
I don't eat chips in bed. I don't eat chips. Oh, I'm lying.
Yeah.
I'm lying.
You definitely take chips all the time in bed.
I'm lying.
Anyway.
The worst part is that sometimes you be dipping into my snacks, fool.
Well, they're already in the bed now. I'm sitting there like, oh, like, man, this is wrong with me. Hey, man, go ahead and give me some of that, man. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be homeless together. That's the point. Somebody got a question.
Where's the question?
It says, question.
Oh,
My
question.
husband wants another child?
My husband wants another child. I don't know right now. Our first baby is 6 months, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. He says, what about me and my wants? But I care for the child all day while he works. Help. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard for me to answer these types of questions, but I will say if your child is 6 months old, I would think it's a great opportunity for you to be like, hey, let's talk about a time like at this point, when this child is this age, I think I might be more ready to talk about the next child. But right now, I'm like in survival mode. So please don't bring that up to me. It causes me a lot of anxiety, especially because I'm carrying so much of the weight. Because I will say that one of the things about us is we got pregnant with Uriah. The boys are 17 months apart. So what Theo was like 7 months old when we got pregnant with Raya, and totally caught us off guard. Didn't know that was going to happen. Wasn't expecting that to happen or anything. However, and it was super hard once Raya was born. It was rough. It was really rough. However, now I'm like, oh, this is great.
What you mean it was rough? What do you mean it was rough?
It was rough having 2 kids that close in age.
Was it?
You know what? Don't minimize my experience because you were the primary parent at home.
Man.
That is not even right. Don't go there.
Well, I can't have an opinion?
You can have an opinion, but you can't minimize my experience.
But you're saying it was rough. I was just trying to understand why you were saying that.
Yeah, it was rough.
What was rough?
But you were asking why was it rough in a condescending way?
So what? I still want to know. You say answer the question.
I was the nursing mother working, trying. I was home. What are you talking about?
You were home, babe.
Outside of work.
Yeah.
Excuse me for trying to put a roof over our heads.
Okay.
Clothes on your back.
Yeah. I ain't buying no clothes. First of all my clothes were like Dream Junkies clothes, and yeah.
Whatever.
But I hear you. I hear what you're saying. My drawers was holy that whole entire time. That's all I know.
I was there at nighttime when holy.
Yeah. But it was it was definitely hard.
Oh my
I agree with
gosh.
you. Going 1 to 2 kids is extremely tough. Don't have that baby. That's my advice. Don't have that baby, man. Protect your life.
Jeez.
Don't have that baby for that man.
Wow.
Nah. And you know what? I would say only on one condition: we make room in the budget for us to have a nanny.
Mhm.
That's the only way I would say it. And that's of
Mhm.
course, I'm down. Yeah, I need a nanny, 40 hours a week and
Yeah.
run it like that.
Are there any questions over there? Because there's another one over here.
This person says, my hubby sees food in the bed and intimacy is gone. Yeah, he is not into it, so I stopped eating in bed. Dang.
Just go brush your teeth.
It's not just about the teeth, bro. Roll around on crumbs.
What about chocolate-covered strawberries and champagne? Does that set the mood?
That's how she talks to me, guys, when she's trying to turn me on. I'm just like, all right.
All right, there's a question here. What are some practical things that I can do with my husband to improve the communication in the relationship besides therapy? I've been married to my husband for 2 years. Practical things I can do. Yeah, good question.
To enhance the communication?
Mhm.
Over communicate. Try to It's hard, man, because sometimes even though you're just over communicating, sometimes it comes off as like kind of being a nag, you know what I mean? And I think that it's important for men to hear something and like I would just have deep conversations. So like sometimes if hey, can I have 5 minutes of your time? I want to tell you about some things that I have going on, some things I'm thinking about. And then she'll go down a list and say these things, right? And then the day of, she'll be like, these things still, right? You remember this, right? Yeah, I got you. And sometimes I don't be remembering. I just be like, yeah, I'm now adjusting my entire schedule that fast because I know you did communicate that. So, yeah. All right.
I think also because 'cause I'm not sure what kind of communication this is, I do believe that, like, it's like sometimes it's more of an internal thing. So for me, sometimes when I realize that Glenn's about to come at me with something, I will, like, be like, "Okay, my feelings might get hurt, but he's not intentionally trying to hurt my feelings." So I can choose to, like, sit in my hurt feelings, or I can choose to really listen to and hear what he's trying to communicate to me right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's, like, intentional thought patterns of shifting your mind to think certain ways in order to receive what the other person is trying to communicate to you.
And the Bible will call that taking your thoughts captive,
Mm.
not letting them run rampant.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. Let's end this because I want to go live with the kids for a little bit on Belief in Fatherhood's page. Peace, y'all.
Join us on Belief in Fatherhood.
Yeah, y'all. Peace.